Welcome, YouTube. This is Emperor Dion. Today's topic, just something that was inspired by what I saw when I finally had to deliver this load back at this fucking warehouse. Okay, and I walked inside finally. And, these places, these warehouses are often operated by blue collar dipshit type guys, cousin fuckers, just redneck white guys, or someone who's generally not a very intelligent or high class person, typically speaking, which sayeth that what you will, but this is going to be very important to what I'm going to bring up here. So, I noticed that plastered all over the walls, or where the workstation was, or all over the dude's lockers too. There's you'll see it in the thumbnail. He's got these posted up white girls on the thing on locker in the workstation, and I'm like, dude, okay, you're this redneck white guy. I already know what you're most likely into, but what you're most likely into likely isn't into you. So it's I started to think about white guys in general have a serious problem with this, where they all are super simps for white girls, pretty much, and that's the only thing they're able to be attracted to, and that's the only thing they look at, and they treat the white woman like she's a fucking goddess, and she's definitely not. Oh my god, white women are definitely no goddesses at all. Okay, and so they feet stink. They ain't the greatest looking. I done lived up around white women before. They ain't. I don't see the appeal. I really don't. I never really have seen the appeal with white women, especially not so much to the extent that white guys are often creaming their pants over them. Let's just say I don't care one way or the other what you're into, but it is an observation, because I can make the same observations about black guys when it comes to certain girls too. But basically, so I'm looking at this dude okay, I know for a fact you don't have a girl that's at all looking like these girls in your pictures and your posters. I know these type of white girls in particular, they're involved in the adult entertainment industry, obviously. White girls like that, white girls as a whole tend to be very liberal, but especially white girls that are involved in the adult entertainment industry, yeah, no, they're super liberal. More than likely, you have often problems with white women that are into this type of shit all online, and then they'll come out and say something super duper liberal that all the white guys basically spurg out about, and it's this continuous nonstop outrage that white guys are having to constantly go into. You see it every single fucking day, almost, just about damn near, where white guys, they have to be reminded that, hey, your white women aren't really on your side at all, and that's to the point where they're going to start to cut you off sexually too. So it's why are you sitting here being a super simp for white women, and most of these white women are not really on your side like that? Because let me tell you too, I know for a fact that most white women would be open to dating a black guy if that black guy obviously measured up to whatever the fuck kind of standards they're on. Women in general, they have very, very high standards for the man. And regardless of who that man is, if that man meets up to her standards, then that man's going to get the cookie. That's how women operate. White women are no different with this. As a matter of fact, I would say white women are more ruthlessly so on this type of deal. So yeah, if there is a black guy that measures up to whatever her standards are, then that black guy is getting a white woman. And I think the overwhelming majority of white women are gonna be open to that if they run across such a situation. So I really had to hold back the urge to look at this guy and point at his posters and be like, hey, you see that right there? Sir, you never get the white girl. You gooey. You know that fucking phrase? That's from Classic Face in MLMS. That soundbite he had. You never get a white girl. That African dude said, you never get a white girl. I really had to hold back the urge to say that to this dude. You never get a white girl, you gooey. Fucking hell though, it's the truth. Cause I'm I can look at almost, especially a working class white guy, okay? Like, yeah, I know most of these guys are with white women, but the type of white girl that they're with usually ain't the one that's in that poster. 9 times out of 10. No, that type of white girl, they envision that white girl as probably their little female relatives that they be touching on and shit. A lot of white guys be going to jail for shit like that. That's why. It's because this obsession with white women, and they believe strongly that they are entitled to white women's bodies. And white women have been showing them for quite a while now that that ain't the case. Any guy that matches up to a white woman's standard can get it. It's what it is. And I'm sorry, but a lot of you white guys aren't really measuring up. Now, like I said, a lot of these working class white guys that you'll find in environments like this, most of them are with white women, sure. But look at the type of white woman they're with. They're with some gap tooth, busted looking, usually fat, usually not very good looking, usually, like, not at all what's in that poster. You see? So, I don't get it. There has to be some sort of a cognitive dissonance. Like, white guys, let me know. Is there a cognitive dissonance here? Because I don't understand how you're unable to reconcile with this, or how you're able to come to grips with this at all. Not all white guys, obviously. There's a fair amount of white guys, especially these days, that have accepted their fate on this and are way more open to dating, usually Asian women, but I've seen white guys that are open to all kinds of women. Hell, there's not an insignificant amount of white guys that are into black women. They ain't trying to marry them, but, I've definitely seen it. Like, my best friend, one of them is a white guy that's exclusively into black women. I kind of challenge him on that. Like, I don't understand or get why you want to be into that. I think as a guy, it really doesn't serve you well to put up barriers racially with women. You got to be open to every kind of woman as a guy. I think that's probably the smartest thing to do. Okay, so if you're a white guy that only likes white women, I'm sorry, you're kind of an idiot. You're kind of retarded for that. Okay, especially given all the things I just described. If you're a black guy that's only into black women, I'm sorry, you're an idiot. Keisha is gonna be the death of you. If you're an Asian guy that's only into Asian women, I can understand that a bit more. I can much understand that a lot more, actually. But even then, I would say that's probably not the smartest idea. As a guy, you don't really want to limit your options, especially not racially. No, as a guy, you got to be open to getting with any kind of woman. Pretty much, it's what it is. Or else you better be Chad. You better be a highly sought after guy to have standards like that. Which, as you know, most guys aren't. Only 20% of guys at best are high enough status to get that going for them, where they can pick and choose like this. But the overwhelming majority of guys don't have the luxury to pick and choose when it comes to women. You kind of got to get what you can get. And I'm sorry, but a lot of time what you can get isn't going to be a woman that's of the same race as you. A lot of the time. So you got to be open with that. That's called being adaptable. Adaptability is one of the most human traits that we have. Like, one of the biggest markers of being a human or not, in my opinion, is adaptability. And being unable to let go of white women or black women or Asian women or any of this shit is a sign of a low ability to adapt. Now, granted, preference is a different thing. Yeah, you might have a preference for certain women or another. I certainly do. I don't really like to look at anything. I guess what I just said also applies to me too. Because I only really look at Asian women. And I only really take Asian women seriously. So it might be kind of stupid for me to only like Asian women too. So just to maintain some consistency in what I'm saying here, as a guy, you should be open to every type of woman. And a lot of white guys aren't. A lot of white guys are suicidally sticking to white women, even though they may not be able to get them or be able to get exactly what they want, or they'll just take out this sexual frustration on the younger female members of their family oftentimes. Anyways, it's just a weird, and this has kind of always been the case too. This is like this weird kind of obsession and possessiveness of white women. Like, guys, just because they're the same race as you do not at all mean that that's your woman or those are your women. That doesn't at all mean that. And they're letting you know that too. Like, white women are letting you know that. I think all women globally are letting all guys know that. That just because we the same race don't mean I'm your woman. Women collectively are kind of making guys aware of that. So, and you're not going to be able to stop this no time soon either. Like, you guys better gain the power of the government or something if you really want to push back against that. Because white women, along with every other woman around the world, are going to ruthlessly show you that. So don't even bother thinking you go fight against that. Because you won't. If you try to lock them up in cages and shit, I mean, bare minimum, you're going to have to wait for a whole new generation of women to be born to get that shit out of them. So, you know, and I don't disagree with women when it comes to that. I don't disagree with them, you know, because I've never really had a locked in preference for one group of women, or, well, aside from Asian women, you know. But anyways, I guess that's all I got to say here. I think it's stupid. I think it's cringe. I think it's pretty funny too, oftentimes when I see the white guys like this. And, well, it's kind of serving my interest anyway, so I ain't really too much against it. Well, I'm not against it at all. I want white guys to be more like this, as a matter of fact, because that's less competition for what I like. But, so it's actually a good thing to see white guys like this that are obsessively stuck on white women. Anyways, good talk, guys. This has been Emperor Dion the Lion, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.